We're living in the loudest era in history. Everyone's shouting, posting, competing for attention. But the creators who rise, the ones who last, they don't chase trends. They build something real. In this 7-part journey, we're diving deep into the mindset, strategy, and identity of top 1% creators. If you're ready to think different, to create with purpose, then let's begin. 1. The power of going all in. Why halfway measures fail. Let's be honest, most people dabble in things. They kind of want to be successful. They sort of want to get fit. They wish they had more money, more freedom, a better life. But here's the truth. Half effort gives you half results if you're lucky. The uncomfortable reality? If you go in only halfway, you'll never get anywhere meaningful. You'll stay in the same place, just spinning your wheels, wondering why life isn't changing, because you're not all in. And life doesn't reward dabblers. It rewards those who commit fully, who say, "This is the hill I'm going to die on." The pain of the almost. Have you ever met someone who's been almost doing something for years? They've almost launched their business. They've almost gotten serious about fitness. They've almost committed to a new habit, a new career, a new life. But almost is a lie. It sounds like progress, but it's really a trap, because you're putting in effort, but not getting any reward. And that creates frustration. You're exhausted, but you're not fulfilled. You're working, but nothing changes. That's the pain of the halfway point. That limbo where you're not in or out. You're just stuck. And here's the twist. That's the most dangerous place to be. Because it gives the illusion of movement while keeping you exactly where you are. The world can sense commitment when you go all in on something. People feel it. They can see it in your posture, hear it in your voice, feel it in your energy. That you start making decisions faster. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You become the kind of person who doesn't ask for permission. They just build the thing. And that energy? It's contagious. Opportunities start to show up. People start paying attention. Doors that were closed start to open, not because you're lucky, but because you've fully committed. You're no longer available for mediocrity. Going all in isn't reckless, it's required now. Let's get something straight. Going all in doesn't mean being reckless. It doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow with no plan. It means you make a decision, a real decision, that from this point forward, you're not entertaining the exit. You're not keeping one foot in and one foot out. You're going to see this through, whether that's building your niche business, getting your body into the best shape of your life, writing your first book, or finally mastering that skill you keep saying you'll get around to. Going all in means, I'm doing this, no matter how long it takes, no matter how messy it gets, no matter who doubts me, I'm in. Burn the boats. There's an old story about a general who landed his ships on enemy shores and told his men, "Burn the boats. We win or we die." Dramatic? Sure, but that's what commitment feels like. You eliminate the backup plan. You cut off the escape hatch. Because as long as you have a plan B, you're not going to give 100% to plan A. Burning the boats doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you're serious. It means you've decided that this matters enough to give your full energy, time, and focus. If you always keep an escape door open, you'll use it the moment things get hard. But when there's no turning back, something clicks. You become resourceful. You become resilient. You fight harder, think clearer, move faster. Your identity changes. Going all in changes more than your results. It changes you. You stop seeing yourself as a trier and start seeing yourself as a doer. You stop identifying as someone who dabbles and become someone who builds. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start. And that identity shift? That's everything, because we always act in alignment with how we see ourselves. And when you see yourself as a committed person, you start doing committed things. You make decisions quicker. You stop procrastinating. You stop negotiating with your goals. You eliminate the gray area. Going all in is also powerful because it eliminates confusion. You're not waking up each morning wondering what you should do. You already decided. You've already committed to the path. So even when you're tired, unmotivated, frustrated, or scared, you keep moving forward because the decision's been made. It's not up for debate anymore. That mental clarity, it's a superpower. And it's only available to people who go all in. People will think you're crazy. That's a good sign. Now don't get me wrong. When you decide to go all in on something, people will raise eyebrows. They'll say you're obsessed. They'll say you're taking it too seriously. They'll say you need to chill out. Let them talk, because behind those comments is fear. Most people are terrified of commitment, terrified of intensity, terrified of passion. They've convinced themselves it's safer to play small. But you know what's not safe? Wasting your potential. Waking up in 5 years realizing you never went after what you truly wanted. Living life with a foot on the brake. If people are questioning your intensity, that's usually a sign you're on the right track. You start attracting a new circle. There's another benefit most people don't talk about. When you go all in, your social circle shifts. You start attracting people who are serious like you, people who are building, people who are creating, people who are done making excuses and ready to do real work. And suddenly, you're not the weird one anymore. You're part of a tribe that gets it. That community, that support, that momentum, it's life-changing. And it all starts when you stop dipping your toe in the water and dive. Final thought. The clock is ticking. Here's the raw truth. You don't have forever. The version of you that could have changed your life is waiting. But you have to go first. You have to choose to get in the arena. To stop hesitating. To stop waiting for the perfect moment. To stop living life like a dress rehearsal. You only get one shot at this. So make the decision. Go all in. Your future self is begging you to. 2. The truth about niche. Why going narrow is the only way to win big. Let's cut through the noise. If you're trying to succeed in today's world, whether you're building a business, a brand, a YouTube channel, or a side hustle, there's one word you need to understand deeply. Niche. Because in a world drowning in content, products, voices, and opinions, trying to speak to everyone means no one hears you. Everyone's trying to go wide. You should go deep. Most beginners think they need to appeal to as many people as possible. I want to help everyone. My content is for all kinds of people. This product is for anyone who wants to improve their life. Sounds noble. But it's the kiss of death. If your message is for everyone, it resonates with no one. People scroll right past it. They don't feel seen, heard, or understood. Why? Because it lacks specificity. It's too broad, too vague, too safe. But the real wins come when you go deep instead of wide. When you zoom in on a clear, specific audience and speak directly to them, that's where the magic happens. A niche isn't just a topic, it's an identity. Let's make something clear. A niche is not just a category. It's not fitness, business, self-improvement, or finance. That's surface-level thinking. A real niche is deeper. It's about the identity of the person you're talking to. You're not just creating content about fitness. You're helping skinny guys who've never lifted before build muscle. You're not just teaching finance. You're guiding millennial freelancers how to manage inconsistent income. You're not just talking about mindset. You're showing burned-out professionals in their 30s how to reclaim their purpose. The tighter the identity, the stronger the connection. People need to feel like, whoa, this person gets me. That's the power of a real niche. It builds trust instantly. Specificity is what breaks through the noise. Think about the content you consume, the people you follow, the podcasts, channels, and newsletters that actually grab your attention. They're not generic. They're not for everyone. They speak to you in your exact situation, with your exact struggles and desires. That's why you keep coming back. So the question becomes, who are you speaking to? If your answer is everyone, then we've got work to do. The narrower you go, the faster you grow. One of the most counterintuitive truths about building anything today? Going narrower makes you grow faster. Because the internet is not a city, it's a galaxy. You don't need 1 million people to succeed. You just need a small group who are obsessed with your message. And the way to build that obsession? You talk directly to them, about them, for them. The smaller and more specific the audience you serve, the easier it is to become their go-to person. And once you've earned that trust, you can scale, you can expand, you can evolve, but you start by going narrow. The micro niche advantage. Here's a secret most creators and entrepreneurs overlook. Micro niches are gold mines. Let's say you're in the fitness space. That's crowded, right? But what if you narrowed it down to fitness for women over 40 with thyroid issues, muscle building for skinny guys with no gym access, home workouts for busy moms with 20 minutes a day? Suddenly, you're no longer competing with massive brands or influencers. You've created a lane where you can dominate, where you can speak directly to a pain point and become the person people trust. Micro niches allow you to build trust faster, grow an audience with less effort, charge more for products or coaching. Create content that spreads organically, because when people feel seen, they share your stuff. Real world example. Why niche is a superpower. Let's look at YouTube. Thousands of creators are trying to go viral by creating trendy videos. But the ones who grow consistently, they own a niche. Mr. Who's the Boss, Tech Reviews, Ali Abdaal, Productivity for Knowledge Workers, Thomas Frank, Notion and Productivity, Vanessa Lau, Business and Content for Creators. These aren't random people making random videos. They picked a lane, went deep, and now they own it. And here's what's wild, every single one of them started small. Their first 50 videos didn't blow up, but they were consistent, focused, niche-driven. And over time, the algorithm rewarded them. Their audience found them. And now they dominate. Choosing your niche isn't permanent. It's a starting point. Now you might be thinking, but what if I pick the wrong niche? What if I get bored? Here's the truth, you can evolve. Your niche isn't a life sentence, it's a starting point. You build trust by solving a specific problem for a specific group of people. Once you have that trust, you can branch out, you can pivot, you can broaden. But if you try to go wide too early, nobody will care. Nobody will listen. Nobody will trust you enough to follow your journey. You earn the right to go wide by first going deep. Fear of picking the wrong niche equals paralysis. One of the biggest blocks people face. They're scared to choose. Scared they'll pick the wrong niche. Scared they'll get stuck. So they float from topic to topic, idea to idea, trend to trend. Never committing, never building momentum, never gaining traction. And months go by. Then years. Still stuck in planning mode, still waiting for clarity, still consuming content instead of creating it. Here's the truth. Clarity comes from action. You don't find your niche by thinking about it. You find it by doing, by publishing, by getting feedback, by adjusting. Start, commit, refine, but stop waiting for perfect. Your niche is what makes you memorable. People don't remember generalists. They remember the person who helped them fix their posture without going to a chiropractor, taught them how to double their freelance income in 90 days, showed them how to meditate even with a DHD. Those people stand out because they own a result. They own a transformation. And when you do that, you don't need 1 million followers. You just need the right 1,000. That's how you build something that lasts. Final thought. Pick your lane and go deep. So here's the challenge. Stop waiting. Stop trying to speak to everyone. Stop pretending that being broad is smart strategy. It's not. In 2025 and beyond, niche wins. So ask yourself, who exactly am I helping? What specific result do I help them get? What pain are they feeling right now? What language do they use to describe that pain? Then build everything, your content, your offers, your story around that. Get known for something. Then become undeniable in that lane. Because once you're known, trusted, and respected in a niche, you have the leverage to do anything you want. 3. Attention is currency, and you're bleeding it. Let's talk about the single most important asset you have in today's world. No, it's not money. It's not time. It's not even talent. It's attention. Because attention is what drives growth, opportunity, influence, and income. If you don't know how to get it and hold it, you'll be invisible. And in today's online economy, invisibility equals failure. Everyone is competing for attention, but most are losing. Scroll through your phone right now. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Everyone is screaming, "Look at me." Here's why you're failing. This is the secret they don't want you to know. The volume is cranked up. The hooks are sharper. The visuals are louder. And yet, almost nobody is truly getting noticed. Why? Because most people are fighting for attention using the same recycled tactics. Same hooks, same edits, same formats, same clickbait. But attention doesn't work that way anymore. You can't just be loud. You have to be real. You have to be sharp. You have to be strategic. Holding attention is more important than getting it. Everyone talks about grabbing attention, but that's only half the game. The real skill? Holding attention. It's easy to make someone stop scrolling for 2 seconds. It's hard to keep them there for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or an entire video. And here's the brutal truth. If you can't hold attention, you don't matter. Your message won't land. Your brand won't grow. Your product won't convert. So if you're wondering why people aren't listening, buying, subscribing, or sharing, don't look at your offer. Look at your ability to keep them interested. You're bleeding attention. Here's why. Let's break down why most creators, entrepreneurs, and brands lose attention almost instantly. 1. You're taking too long to get to the point. Nobody has time for slow intros. Get into it. Point 2. You're using generic language. If your copy sounds like everyone else, people tune out. 3. You're not speaking to a clear problem. Vague stories don't work. People pay attention to relevance. 4. You're not pattern breaking. Humans are wired to notice change. If your visuals, voice, or tone stay flat, attention drops. 5. You're focused on you. Your story is nice, but people care about their lives. Make your content about them. Fix these and watch your retention skyrocket. The hook to hold formula. Let's make this practical. You need two skills: the hook, grabbing attention; the hold, keeping ida. Great hook makes someone stop. A great hold makes them stay and act. Here's a quick formula. Hook. Start with tension or curiosity. Most people ruin their mornings in the first 7 minutes without realizing it. You don't have a money problem, you have a behavior problem. What if I told you that working harder is making you poorer? Hold. Immediately follow with clarity plus value. Explain the stakes. Deliver a transformation. Make it feel personal. The faster you move from curiosity to connection, the stronger your grip. Great content equals managed attention flow. You can think of great content like a well-built funnel. At the top, you earn the click. But what happens after determines everything. The first 5 seconds, they decide if someone stays. The first 30 seconds, they decide if someone trusts you. The rest of the video, that decides if they come back again. It's not just about structure, it's about rhythm. Have to earn attention at every beat. Introduce ideas clearly. Vary your pacing. Add surprises. Use story. Give your audience a reason to lean in, not zone out. Every second they stay is a second you earn influence. Attention is a loop. Here's how to use it. Here's something advanced that most creators ignore. Attention isn't linear. It loops. People come in, zone out, re-engage, drift, come back again. Your job isn't just to hook once. It's to read-hook. Use mini hooks throughout your content. But here's where it gets crazy. Most people miss this next part. Let me tell you the mistake I made. Stay with me, this will flip your perspective. These subtle cues reset focus. They reignite curiosity. They bring people back into the story. This is how you stretch a 15-second viewer into a 15-minute fan. Why this matters for trust and sales. If you can hold attention, you can build trust. If you can build trust, you can influence behavior. And if you can influence behavior, you can drive sales, growth, and impact. This is the new sequence of success. Attention gives trust, gives action, gives monetization. Miss the first step and the rest never happens. You can't fake attention anymore. In the old internet, you could game the system. Clickbait titles, engagement pods, fake followers, bots. But not now. Algorithms are smarter. People are savvier. Competition is relentless. If you're not genuinely valuable, attention evaporates. That means no more fluff. No more lazy content. No more hoping something goes viral. You need substance, personality, precision, emotion. You need to matter. Because now, everyone has a voice. But only the ones who can truly hold attention have a platform. The hidden cost of scattered focus. One last thing. You're not just bleeding other people's attention, you're bleeding your own. Every time you switch topics, every time you chase a new shiny idea, every time you post random content without strategy, you lose your own attention. You stop building. You stop compounding. You stop making progress, and your audience feels that chaos. They don't know what to expect, so they stop showing up. If you want people to stay with you, you need to stay focused. Your attention sets the tone. Final thought. Attention is the new leverage. We used to live in a world where leverage came from capital, real estate, credentials, job titles. Now, leverage comes from attention. It's the most valuable currency online. And it's earned, not given. So if you want to build something meaningful, don't just ask, how do I get views? Ask, how do I earn trust and keep it? That's how you win. Not by shouting louder. But by becoming undeniably valuable and impossible to ignore. 4. The myth of motivation and what you actually need. Let's be honest. You've probably told yourself something like this: I just need to get motivated again. I need that spark back. Once I feel inspired, I'll finally start. Sound familiar? It's one of the most common beliefs out there. And also one of the most dangerous, because motivation is a myth, at least the version of it most people chase. Why motivation fails you over and over again. Motivation is emotional. It's fleeting. It's unreliable. It shows up uninvited and disappears the moment things get hard. If you rely on motivation to build your dream, here's what you're really saying: I'll work, but only if I feel like it. I'll show up, but only when it's easy. I'll pursue my goals, but only if they excite me right now. That's not discipline. That's not consistency. That's not growth. That's you being held hostage by your mood. And here's the truth: your goals don't care how you feel. You don't need motivation. You need a system. The people who win in life, who build successful brands, businesses, careers, they're not relying on inspiration. They're relying on systems. They've built environments, routines, and habits that make progress automatic. Let's break that down. A system means you know what needs to be done. You know when and how to do it. You've removed as much friction as possible. You've created accountability even when nobody's watching. Think about it like this: motivation is hoping the weather's nice so you can go run. A system is waking up, putting on your shoes, and running regardless. One is wishful. The other is inevitable. Habits beat hype every time. Let's make this even simpler. You don't need more dopamine. You need more discipline. Every top performer you admire, they're not more inspired than you. They're just more consistent. They write every day, even when it's boring. They film content weekly, even when they're tired. They build businesses slowly, even when it's not sexy, because they've realized something powerful: small, repeatable actions outperform bursts of hype every single time. So if you're waiting for the perfect mood to strike, you're falling behind. The real pros? They show up whether it's sunny or storming in their head. Motivation versus momentum. Here's a shift that can change everything. Don't chase motivation. Chase momentum. Momentum is created through action, not the other way around. Most people get this backwards. They wait to feel ready before they move. But the truth? Action creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. And once momentum kicks in, you don't need motivation anymore. You're in motion. And motion is powerful. The trap of feeling productive. Here's where a lot of people get stuck. They confuse planning with doing. They feel productive because they're researching, organizing, preparing, but they're not building anything. They're stuck in productivity theater. They've got Notion dashboards, vision boards, to-do lists, color-coded calendars, but no output. No content, no product, no real momentum. Don't be busy. Be relentlessly useful. Real growth happens in boredom. Here. As something nobody wants to hear. Success is boring most of the time. It's not a highlight reel. It's not a fireworks show. It's reps. It's edits. It's tweaking thumbnails. It's rewriting scripts. It's launching the 12th version of your offer. The world celebrates your breakthroughs, but it's built on a mountain of ordinary days. If you can't handle boredom, you'll never reach greatness. How to create a no motivation needed routine. Want to remove motivation from the equation completely? Here's a basic structure to build around. Set a sacred work window. Same time, same place, daily. No negotiations. 2. Create a cue. Coffee, music, journal, anything that signals go time for your brain. 3. Make your tools stupid simple. to access. If it takes more than 30 seconds to get started, you'll procrastinate. 4. Focus on output, not perfection. Just hit publish. Just post. Just go. 5. Review weekly, not daily. Daily performance is a trap. Progress is a long game, and most importantly, never wait to feel ready. That moment rarely comes. Discipline feels hard until it feels like freedom at first. Building discipline feels like a grind. You'll want to skip, delay, justify. But over time, it starts to feel like freedom. Because now, you don't need to rely on external hype. You don't need a YouTube guru yelling at you. You don't need a perfect mood to make progress. You're in control. And once that switch flips, you're dangerous. You can outlast, outwork, and outperform almost anyone. Because while they're waiting for motivation, you're already 10 steps ahead. The lie of balance when you're building another trap people fall into is the illusion of balance. They think, I'll grow my YouTube channel, but I also want plenty of rest and free time. Now don't get this twisted. Rest matters. Recovery is real. But if you're in a building phase, if you're trying to grow something from zero, you don't need balance. You need imbalance with a purpose for a season. That means more output, more learning, more sacrifice. You can't create something exceptional by living like everyone else. There will be seasons of obsession. Embrace them. Your feelings don't dictate your future. Let's close this section with something harsh but true. Your feelings are valid, but they're not a compass. If you obey your emotions every day, you'll drift. You'll chase comfort. You'll avoid the hard stuff. But if you build a system, if you keep showing up, you'll start to feel proud of yourself. Not because you felt good every day, but because you did the hard thing, even when you didn't feel like it. That's real power. That's real growth. That's how you build a body of work that changes your life. Final reminder, you're not behind, you're just waiting. If you feel stuck right now, it's not because you're broken. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're incapable. It's because you've been waiting for something. A sign. A feeling. A perfect moment. This is it. This is your reminder that you don't need motivation. You need to start. Just start. Start small. Start clumsy. Start tired. But start anyway, and let the momentum carry you where motivation never could. 5. The power of focus in a world addicted to distraction. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time you sat in silence? Just you, your thoughts, and your work. With no music, no scrolling, no distractions? If that question makes you uncomfortable, you're not alone. We live in a world designed to shatter your focus. Notifications, DMs, trending sounds. Algorithms engineered to hijack your brain, and every time you get distracted, you lose time, yes. But you also lose momentum, clarity, creative flow. You lose your edge. Focus is the new superpower. Forget talent. Forget motivation. In today's world, the ability to focus deeply is rare and powerful. If you can sit with one task for 90 minutes, without switching tabs, grabbing your phone, or checking your stats, you're already ahead of 90% of people. Most creators aren't struggling because they lack skill. They're struggling because their attention is fractured into 1,000 pieces. You can't create something meaningful if you're only giving it 20% of your brain. What distraction is really costing you every time you interrupt yourself scrolling, checking, bouncing between tasks? It's not just a few seconds lost. It's your flow state. It takes your brain roughly 23 minutes to fully re-enter a deep state of concentration after a distraction. So those quick checks, they're death by 1,000 cuts. Imagine how much of your best thinking, your best writing, your best creative breakthroughs are being stolen by apps that don't even care about you. You're not distracted because you're weak. You're distracted because the game is rigged against your focus. But the good news? You can take it back. The myth of multitasking. Let's kill a lie right now. I'm just really good at multitasking. No, you're not. Nobody is. Your brain wasn't designed to do two cognitively demanding things at once. You're just rapidly switching between them and exhausting yourself in the process. Multitasking is not productivity. It's fragmented attention disguised as efficiency. Real power comes from monotasking, deep, undivided attention on one meaningful thing at a time. That's where your best work lives. Digital minimalism isn't a trend, it's survival. You don't have to go off-grid. You don't have to delete every app, but you do have to create boundaries if you want to protect your focus. Try this. Turn your phone grayscale. Schedule deep work blocks, no notifications, no multitasking. Unfollow accounts that don't inspire or educate you. Use tools like Freedom, Cold Turkey, or Screen Zen to block distractions during work hours. This isn't about being perfect. It's about regaining control of your attention. Because where your attention goes, your life goes. Create a focus fortress. Here's a way to structure your day like a high-performance creative. 1. Protect your mornings. No input before output. That means no TikTok, no email, no news until you've created something first. Point 2. Block time, don't wing it. Design 90-minute windows where you do one thing only. 3. Shut the open loops. Loose ends in your mind kill focus. Close browser tabs. Finish the half-done tasks. Clear mental clutter. 4. Choose discomfort on purpose. Train your brain to sit with boredom. That's where creativity incubates. Point 5. Work like a monk, then recover like an athlete. Go deep, then truly rest. Not fake rest with your phone, real recovery. Deep work is where the magic happens. Every great video you've ever loved, it was born in deep work. Every brilliant idea, every unforgettable sentence, every unique edit, it came from someone who was alone, focused, and undistracted. Deep work is where your voice sharpens, your vision expands, your output becomes undeniable. But it takes practice. You don't just fall into flow. You train for it. And the more you build that focus muscle, the more potent your work becomes. The hidden addiction to chaos. Here's a harsh truth. A lot of people stay distracted because deep focus feels too honest. In stillness, you have to face your insecurities, procrastination, lack of direction, fear of failure. So instead, we scroll, we refresh, we binge, we jump between tabs. Because staying busy makes us feel safe, but distraction is a false comfort. And clarity only comes through silence. You can't outrun your work. You have to sit with it. Dopamine detox for creators. If your attention span feels broken, you're not crazy. You're just overstimulated. Your brain's dopamine receptors are fried from too much scrolling, snacking, binge watching, tab hopping. To reset, try a simple dopamine detox. Not forever. Just 1 to 2 days a week. During that time, no social media, no YouTube rabbit holes, no sugar hits, no quick fixes for boredom. It's uncomfortable. But that discomfort recalibrates your brain, and suddenly, reading feels engaging. Writing flows easier. Sitting with your thoughts doesn't feel scary. You become human again. The discipline of doing one thing well. Look around. Everyone's trying to do everything. They want to be a podcaster, a vlogger, a TikToker, a course creator, a life coach, a fitness brand all at once. But the truth? You will never be respected for being decent at many things. You will be remembered for being elite at one thing. Pick your thing. Go deep, say no to the rest for now. Depth creates value. Focus builds empires. What to eliminate to reclaim focus? Here's a brutal but necessary list. Unnecessary meetings, they rob your energy. Cut them. Toxic group chats, you don't need hourly memes to survive. Endless research, you're not learning, you're avoiding action. Mindless content, if it's not moving you forward, it's dragging you back. And most importantly, stop seeking constant stimulation. Boredom isn't your enemy. It's your secret weapon, because on the other side of boredom is clarity. And on the other side of clarity is your best work. Focus is love for your future self. Every time you choose focus over distraction, every time you silence the noise, every time you say not now to instant gratification, you are loving your future self. You are building a body of work, a sharper mind, a reputation for excellence. You are choosing to matter, not just be visible. That's rare. That's powerful. That's yours. If you can master your focus, you can master your life. 6. Why most creators quit before they win, and how to be the exception. Let's talk about something nobody wants to admit. Most people quit, not because they're lazy, not because they lack talent, not because they didn't want it badly. Enough. They quit because they expected success to come faster, easier, cleaner. They believed in the myth that if you're good, it'll just happen. But the truth? Every creator hits the wall. The wall is real and necessary. The wall is that phase where views stall. Growth slows, motivation drops. Everything feels harder than it should. You've been putting in the hours. You've been uploading, tweaking, learning. But the results? They don't reflect your effort. This is the moment most creators disappear quietly. They tell themselves things like, maybe it's not my time. Maybe this niche is too saturated. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. But here's the secret. The wall is where real creators are made. The dip is a filter. Seth Godin calls it the dip, that hard, frustrating, no reward phase. That separates amateurs from professionals. Most people start things. Very few finish. They don't quit because they're incapable. They quit because they mistake the dip for the end. But if you stay in the game, if you keep showing up when nobody's clapping, if you learn to love the silence, you become dangerous. Because now you're not just creating for attention. You're creating from conviction. Consistency isn't sexy, but it's unstoppable. Here's the truth that's hard to hear. Consistency is more important than talent. Posting once a week for 2 years beats posting 10 times a week for 2 months. Because algorithms favor trust. Audiences favor reliability. And your craft favors repetition. Creativity isn't lightning, it's plumbing. You show up, turn the tap, and let the flow come. Some days it gushes. Some days it drips. But you don't wait for inspiration. You build a rhythm. The 1% rule of compound creation. Most creators overestimate what they can do in a week and wildly underestimate what they can build in a year. If you get 1% better every video, improve 1% every week, refine your storytelling, delivery, visuals, editing in a year, you'll be unrecognizable. But most people never get to that version of themselves. They quit at 40%. Right before the compounding kicks in. The difference between no traction and blowing up is often just 30 more videos. Stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone's chapter 20. You're not behind. You're just early. Social media tricks you into thinking everyone's going viral except you. But for every overnight success you see, There's 1,000 hours of silent work behind it. They struggled with the same doubts. They posted to the same empty rooms. They wanted to quit 100 times, but they stayed, they refined, they iterated. They earned their luck. Your time is coming. If you don't stop building, that obsession will carry you when motivation dies. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. It's unreliable. It's fragile. But obsession? Obsession wakes up before the alarm. Obsession edits at 1 a.m. Obsession rewrites the script 5 times. Obsession doesn't care how it feels. You don't need to be loud about it. Just quietly outlast everyone else. Let them get distracted. Let them chase new trends. You build. Build your identity. Not just your channel. You're not just making videos. You're becoming someone. Every script you finish, every deadline you hit, every fear you push through, you're not just growing the channel. You're growing yourself. Creators who last the longest are the ones who tie their identity to the process, not the outcome. Not I'm a YouTuber when I hit 1, oh okay. But I'm a creator because I create. That mindset is untouchable. Reframe. The numbers metrics are useful, but they're not the mission. Views, subs, likes, they're feedback, not fuel. Instead, track things that matter more. How often you publish, how clearly you communicate, how many lives you're impacting, how proud you are of the work. And remember, you don't need millions of views. You just need one real connection at a time. Serve the people already watching. The rest will come. Turn resistance into ritual. Every creator faces resistance. That voice that says, "This isn't good enough. Who's even going to care? You're wasting your time." The difference is, winners don't wait for resistance to vanish. They turn it into ritual. They show up anyway. Make your resistance predictable, so your rituals become stronger than your fears. Write even when it's hard. Record even when you feel off. Publish even when it's not perfect, because perfect doesn't change lives. Publish does. Your work matters more than you know. You don't even realize it. But your video might be the one that keeps someone going, that helps them feel seen, that makes them laugh when they needed it most. You may never hear from them, but they're out there. Your consistency has ripple effects you'll never fully understand. You think you're just making content, but you're shaping culture. One upload at a time. Don't rob the world of what only you can create. Just because it's hard right now, don't quit in the dark. Most people give up during the night phase, when no one's watching, when progress is invisible, when nothing's clicking yet. But night is always temporary. If you just keep walking, if you just keep uploading, if you just keep showing up, the morning comes. Your people find you. Your ideas resonate. Your brand starts to build, but only if you're still standing when the light returns. Let the hard be your advantage. Here's the paradox. The very thing that's hard right now is the reason you'll win later. Because 99% of people don't have the patience. They won't keep going when it's unrewarded. They'll pivot, flake, fade out. But if you learn to love the hard parts, if you treat slow growth as training, if you see every obstacle as identity building, you become the 1% who actually make it. The question isn't, will it get easier? The question is, will you get stronger while it's still hard? 7. The creator's inner code. How to think, act, and win like the top 1%. Let's wrap this up by talking about something deeper than tactics, your mindset. Because your content doesn't start with the camera. It starts with your conviction. You can copy someone's strategy. You can mimic someone's style. But you'll never outcreate them, unless you outthink them. The creators who last, who build, who win, they don't just know the how. They master the why. Rule number 1. Build in public. Think in private. Top creators don't create for approval. They create from alignment. You don't need to share everything. You don't need to perform vulnerability. Some things, your fears, your doubts, your growth are better processed off camera first. Let your inner world lead your outer work. Think deeply. Reflect privately. Create publicly. That's where authenticity lives. Rule number 2. Fall in love with boredom. Success isn't glamorous. It's repetitive. You'll write another script, shoot another, take, edit another clip, post another video. Day after day, week after week. And guess what? Sometimes it'll feel boring. But boredom is the threshold of mastery. If you only work when it's exciting, you'll never break through. Greatness isn't a dopamine rush. It's a quiet discipline. Rule number A. Trade perfection for momentum. Perfection is a clever disguise for fear. You'll say, it's not ready yet. It just needs a few more tweaks. I don't want to upload something subpar. But underneath that, it's often just resistance. The top 1% of creators don't aim for perfect. They aim for done, then make the next one better. Because momentum compounds. Publish fast. Learn faster. Your audience doesn't need a masterpiece. They need you to show up consistently. Rule number 4. Be so good. You can't be ignored. This is where talent meets obsession. Don't just try to be relevant. Try to be undeniable. Study your niche. Reverse engineer top videos. Learn storytelling like it's a martial art. Practice voice control. Refine your visuals. No one is born great at this. They build into it. And the game isn't crowded at the top. Most people never make it past pretty good. If you outtrain the algorithm, outstudy your competitors, outcare your audience, they won't be able to ignore you. Rule number 5. Success is an identity, not a destination. If you only feel successful when you hit a number, you'll always be chasing something. But if you decide, I'm successful because I create with purpose, then nobody can take that from you. You're not faking it till you make it. You're being it until it becomes obvious. Every time you hit publish, every time you write when tired, every time you push past doubt, you're reinforcing a deeper truth. You're a real creator now. Rule #6. Silence the wrong voices. There will be noise. Trolls in the comments, skeptics in your life, your own inner critic. Learn to filter feedback. Not every opinion deserves access to your energy. Not every comment needs a response. Ask yourself, is this from someone who's built what I want? Does this help me grow or just keep me small? Is this true or just loud? The more you create, the more noise you'll attract. Your job isn't to silence the world, it's to strengthen your signal. Rule #7. Play the infinite game. This is the big one. Most creators are playing to win now. But the great ones? They're playing to stay in the game forever. That means protecting your energy, guarding your peace, creating at a sustainable pace. You don't need to burn out to break through. You don't need to blow up to be valid. Your job isn't to win today's race. It's to run tomorrow. Over and over again. With joy, with vision, with heart. You're already ahead. Most people never start. You did. Most people post once, then ghost. You've kept going. Most people wait for permission. You took the leap. And even if you haven't seen the results yet, you've already done the hardest part. You chose to build something real. Now, you just have to keep building. The creator's code. Burn it into your mind. Let's bring it all home. This is your internal code. This is what separates you from the noise. 1. Create before you're ready. 2. Embrace the boring. 3. Ship, then sharpen. 4. Master your niche. 5. Act like you belong. 6. Filter the feedback. 7. Play the long game. Say it again. Out loud if you need to. Let it imprint. Because when the views slow, when your friends don't get it, when the doubt creeps in, this code will carry you through. You're not just a creator. You're a builder. You're building more than a brand. You're building a life. Every upload is a brick. Every video is a vote for your future. Every idea is a seed. Plant enough of them, and you'll look up one day to find a forest. Your audience will grow. Your skills will sharpen. Your purpose will evolve, and you'll realize you didn't just survive the game. You became the game. One final thing. If this journey ever gets lonely, remember, there are thousands of us out here, creating, struggling, trying to make something meaningful. We're not competing. We're climbing the same mountain, just on different paths. So, take a breath, refocus, reset. Then get back to the work, because the next video might just change your life. Or someone else's. You'll never know until you hit publish. 7 parts have passed so quickly. Like you, I'm also learning wonderful things from Stoicism, striving every day to become better, every second, every minute, every hour. Let's walk this path together.